Hi, everyone. Welcome to Dear and Dove Final Project Presentations. Congratulations to all the students. You did a great job. We're very excited to see all of the hard work that you've been putting in over the past 17 weeks. And Janika, was there anything that you wanted to add before we get rolling?
Just congratulations to everyone who crossed the finish line. Y'all should be proud of yourselves. Great work. And I'm really excited to see your presentations.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Janika. So then without further ado, Elena, go ahead.
Sorry, just to give me a second.
Yep, that's fine. There's always a little bit. Yeah, don't worry. There's always a little bit of lag time when people are sharing and stopping sharing and all that good stuff.
All right.
Okay, we can see you and we can hear you.
All right, excellent. Well, bear with me. I'm going to read my presentation because English is not my native language, so I'm going to just read it, but bear with me. All right. So hello, everyone. Today, I'm excited to present to you a project called Concert Diary. So it's a digital journal in time capsule designed to help music enthusiasts and record their live music experiences. Whether you passion, concert goers simply love to enjoy live performances, Concert Diary provides a user-friendly platform to capture and relive your favorite moments. So let's explore the key features. Concert Diary prioritizes the security and privacy of your personal concert entries through robust user authentication and authorization mechanism. You can create an account, log in, and securely and manage your concert diary. So these features ensure that your data remains protected and only you have the authority to access, modify, and delete your concert records. So let me log in order to display the rest of the features. Here you go. So once authenticated, you can easily create and add new concert entries to your digital journal. Just to simply provide tour name, to put like the test, provided the artist, leave some review, and leave some, like, for example, great, amazing, and add it to save your entries. So your latest entry is always placed at the top, allowing you to encapsulate the essence of your most recent adventures. But what if you want to update or refine your existing concert entries? So the app understands your need for flexibility and allows you to easily edit and update your records, modify details, add thoughtful reflection, or even update the rating to ensure your diary remains accurate and up to date. So you can just put, for example, bad, and update it. Searching for a specific concert or filtering them based on ratings has never been easier with a Concert Diary intuitive search and filter functionality. Locate performance by your favorite artist or explore the highest rate shows you attended. So it's a convenient way to navigate and rediscover your concert experiences, ensuring that no cherished memory goes unnoticed. For example, you can find like Beyonce, or by rates, let's say search by all amazing concerts that have been. If you no longer need a specific concert entry in your diary, the app makes it easy to delete it. So by clicking on the delete button, an alert window will appear, ensuring that you genuinely want to proceed with the deletion. So this serves as a helpful precautionary measure to avoid accidentally removing any available records. So with just a few clicks, you can confidently remove any unwanted entries, maintaining a streamlined and relevant journal of your live music adventures. With pagination support, the app presents your recorded concert in a comprehensive list, so seamlessly move between pages and browse through your collections. So each page displays up to 6 entries, making it effortless to navigate and relive your concert memories. Finally, when it's time to conclude your session or ensure the security of your account, the app offers a secure logout feature. By simply clicking on the logout button, you can confidently terminate your session and prevent unauthorized access to your concert diary. So this feature grants you peace of mind, particularly when using shared devices or accessing the app from public places. In summary, Concert Diary provides a secure and user-friendly platform to document and cherish your live music experiences, from user authentication and easy entry creation to editing, deletion, search, and pagination. Concert Diary seamlessly blends its features to create an immersive and personalized concert journal. Throughout the development of this project, I encountered a challenge in configuring the middleware to protect user data. However, with a thorough research and implementation, I overcome this obstacle and successfully implemented effective data protection measures. So this is a project that I built. Thank you for all of your attention.
Awesome. Great job, Elena. You got us off to a great start. If anybody had any questions or comments that they wanted to share with Elena, feel free to either share them in the chat. Presenters, when you're done presenting, take a look through the meeting chat because you do have a lot of praise from your colleagues in there as well too. But if anybody had any questions or comments they wanted to share now, please feel free to.
How did you come up with the idea for the concert?
I've always been a big fan, before COVID, because everything was shut down. For me, it was some sort of fresh, the air for me to bring excitement in my life, the live music. And I always was a kid, listen, cassettes, watching the big stars on the MTV channel. So been living in Canada, it's given me great opportunity to see the stars in the live performance. I'm a big fan of a good music.
Awesome. Thanks, Elena. All right. If there aren't any other questions or comments, then we'll go ahead and move on to our next presenter. Natalia Kleyeva, you are up next. Whenever you're set, feel free to unmute and share screen. All right, we can see you and we can hear you. Thanks.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. First of all, I would like to thank all members of Code the Dream team and our class coordinator, Mary Ellis, for exceptional organization and hard work. I also would like to express my deepest gratitude to my absolutely amazing mentor, Ekos, for her invaluable guidance and support. Her dedication and assistance have made a huge impact on my personal and professional growth. Today, I would love to walk you through the steps I took to develop my final project, which is an e-commerce website. Here you can see the Gendocs documentation of my API deployed to render. Here we have common authentication routes, as well as 4 different models with typical RESTful routes for each of them. I started by setting up a basic Express server and then connected it to a MongoDB. Set up basic routes and middlewares for handling incoming requests. To demonstrate that, let's switch to our website to login page that also offers a register option. In my project, user model has name, email, and password properties. To handle user password securely, I utilized the bcrypt package as well as JSON Web Token to generate and verify users token. If everything is fine, I attach the token as a cookie and send back the OK response. Just to showcase that, let's log in as an admin to have more functionalities. Well, if something goes wrong on this step, I return 400. But now we did it successfully, and I can see my name just right here. For the logout route that we also have here, I used a clear cookie method. As we can see, I also created controllers and routes to handle user-related functions like update user's password or update user's info. These particular routes require special authentication, so I implemented an authenticate user and authorize permissions middlewares, so that as a user, I can only update my own data or password and not someone else's data. Now let's go to the products page, because the next model I created was one to define the product schema with multiple properties. I set up typical routes and controllers to handle creating, updating, and deleting a product, getting all products, getting a single one, and also uploading an image. The get all products and get single product routes are accessible to public, while the rest of the routes require admin authentication. Just to showcase that, when I'm logged in as an admin, I can add a product. So let's try to do that. Here I put the name, price, description, The image I've already prepared, category, company, and now it tells us that our product was added successfully. And now I refresh and go to products route, and I can see my new products just right here. Also, as an admin, I can update and delete a product. And for that, I need to go to a single product page, and I'm offering you to delete our new product. And now when I hit refresh, it will disappear from our products. Another model I created was a review schema with the rating, title, comment, user and product properties. I set up controllers and routes to handle all CRUD requests. The reviews are accessible to public, but user that logged in is able to leave one review per product. And of course, he is able to update or delete his own review, as we can see here. Finally, to make my website closer to real life, I created a model, routes, and controllers for handling orders. At the moment, on the front end, I'm handling only a create order function, but later I will add more functionality. Let's create a new order together. So I hit create order, place order, and now it goes directly to MongoDB. To say that I'm not cheating, I will refresh my MongoDB collection, and it will appear just right here. Okay, now we can see it, total 5,000. Okay, this is it. Also on the front end, I added the ability to filter and sort products by price, name, category, and the user can do it whenever he wants. I think this is all functionality I wanted to show. And thanks for your attention. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have about my project.
Awesome. Great job, Natalia. Thank you for sharing. Was there a particular part that was the biggest struggle for you or that you enjoyed the most that you'd like to talk about a little bit?
Yes, I think mostly connecting backend and front end was the most complex part of my project, because I had no idea. Now, thanks to my mentor, I can do this. I could do it. Or I could have done it.
Awesome. Anybody else have any questions or comments they wanted to share? All right. As always, check the chat when you're done with the presentations. For
No
any queries.
questions, just
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Elena.
impressed. I have no questions, I'm just impressed.
That was very good job. Very good job indeed.
Thank you.
All right. So our next presenter tonight is going to be Samantha Diaz, our first React presenter tonight. So whenever you're ready, Samantha, go ahead and take it away.
Hello, everybody. Okay, get my screen ready. Oops, okay. So here's my to-do list. I currently have a sort set up to filter my list based on ABCs, like based on A to Z. So when you refresh the page, it starts off as A to Z, and then you can go ahead and reverse the order and vice versa. And then when you click on this X button, it should delete an entry. And then you can go ahead and add in a new one, which I'm going to go in right now. And it should also have the entry of the day that you set that to-do list for. So this is currently what I have set up. I know it's very basic of a site, but it did take me a while to try and figure out all the pieces and make sure everything was styled correctly without styling things within other folders, if that makes sense. So I was able to style the color as a bluish purple, so it's supposed to be like an ombre effect. And then at the bottom I have my name and the site and the date at the bottom as a footer. And I hope you enjoy. I have I can show you my console. I'm also going to show you that this can be on different devices. When you make it smaller, you can see like a little shadow appears at the bottom, so it's easier to see the footer, especially on mobile devices. It's kind of hard to see that at the bottom. And then I don't have as many tasks on here, so you can't see it scroll, but the footer is a sticky footer, so it does show you, sorry, you can see my pictures with my cat in the background, my bad. But it does allow you to keep the footer at the bottom while seeing the tasks next to it without covering each other. And when the list does extend to the bottom, you should be able to delete the entries all the way at the bottom and still be able to refresh. I just haven't been able to add as many entries in, but you can still go in and delete and then add in a new one. I believe I touched upon everything that I needed to, but thank you so much for being here for my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Samantha. Did you have it just updating within your state, or do you have it to where it writes and reads and makes changes to like the Airtable sort of pseudo backend that you all use for the React class?
I have it so it's based on the created time. When you set it up, a created time pops up in the console, and then the date that's attached to that task will appear next to it. I was going to add in a due date, but I didn't have enough time to do it. So that will be future for me to add on to my React, but this is based on the time created, and it is logged into my, I forgot what it's called, the table that I created with my information. I hope that
Awesome.
answers your question.
Yes, yeah, that did answer my question. Great. Does anybody else have any questions or comments they'd like to share?
Besides like the date order, are there any other features that you want to add to this?
Yes, there was a lot that I wanted to. I didn't get a chance to add them in, but I do want to style the date as well as adding in a due date that you can filter the list by. And I also wanted to add in a filter to filter based on created time. And there was a couple other things I wanted to, I put it in a table, but I did want to set it up grid style the way that I had my node project set up, but I didn't have enough time to do that. So it's more styling and information that I wanted to add in attached to the tasks. So that's some stuff that will be added in. I hope that answers your question. Any other questions?
Did you have a favorite part or your biggest struggle that you wanted to share at all, Samantha?
Honestly, I would say my biggest struggle was making sure when I added things on that it wouldn't, because everything's attached with the fetch and bringing up different information. It's hard to change one thing without it having an effect on something else and then seeing a bunch of errors in your console. So I feel like mainly adding style with the React was particularly hard. But once I picked a way, an easier way for me to set up my CSS, like I feel more comfortable using CSS styling sheets versus adding in styling directly onto the React. And that took me a while to figure out. But once I did, I was able to style more. It took me a while at the end. So now like I started in adding like the SVG icons. That took me a while to understand. But once I did, I want to say like styling was the trickiest part. But everything else is pretty simple in terms of getting the information on there and setting up the table. That was my favorite part for sure.
Awesome. Great job.
Thank you
Any
so
other
much.
questions or comments? Okay. Thanks, Samantha. And I think Elena, how do you pronounce your last name, Elena? Is it Yaparova? Am I getting that right?
Hello, Marie. Good evening, everybody. Yes, it's correct. It's like this.
All right.
I know it's
Then you
very
feel free to
difficult, but it's okay.
All right.
Good
Whenever
evening,
you're
everybody, everyone. And I would like, first of all, to take a moment to express my gratitude to Code the Dream for providing me with the opportunity to learn and grow in the field of web development. Just one moment, I will make my screen. And I would like to say also my gratitude to my mentor Akos for her continuous guidance and support in my journey through the course Node.js, and especially my e-commerce project. Today I would like to present my project e-commerce API with front-end authorization and authentication. Then I would like to demonstrate routes with Swagger. The project involves setting up the basic Express server, connecting it to the database MongoDB, implementing various routes and middleware, and creating models for users, products, reviews, and orders. I will provide an overview of the steps involved in setting up this project. First of all, to begin with, I would like to show my front-end login register authorization. User registration involves creating a new user, checking email uniqueness, and hashing password using Bcrypt hash and Bcrypt GenSalt. JSON Web Tokens are used for user authentication and is function for creating and verifying tokens. Here we can see our token received from backend. The login route verifies user credentials, checks if email and password exist. If one missing, return 400. Finds user if no user, return 401. Checks password if doesn't match, return 401. If everything is correct, attach cookie and send back the same response as in register. Here we can see our cookies which we got from our backend. Then I would like to show some functionality with Swagger. Here we can see the models represented with our user, product, review, and order. Firstly, I would like to demonstrate login and register with the role user admin. We can register user, and we can see here response in request in the response body that the request is successful. Then we can make login, and also we will see the result of this request. Here we can make the same name of the registered user, and we see our response in the response body. Then I would like to log in as admin to show other functionality which can be done only if we logged in as admin. Here we see that first of all we logged out from the previous user, and here we can make login as admin. Here our response is successful. We are logged in as admin, and now we can see another model which is called the user. First of all, get all user request. This is realized by admin users. By admin users can't see this information, and we can see successful response with registered users. This function is responsible for retrieving all users with the role set to user from the database. Then we can see another request which is called get single user. We copy ID of the user who has a registration, and finally we can see the server response the success in registration. This function is responsible for retrieving a single user based on their ID from database and sending the response containing the user information. Show current user means that we can see who is logged in at the moment. Who is logged in. Then update user. With update user, we can change, for example, name or email of the user. Update user password. We can change password. For example, the old one, let's say secret, and the new one will be secret secret one. This function is responsible for updating the user's password. Here we can change the password of the user. And we can see after execution, our success password updated. Now I would like to say some words about the product model. For example, get all products requests. This function is responsible for retrieving all products from the database and sending a response containing their products and the account. Here we can see all products on our backend and the account. Then we will try get single product. For this one, we need ID. We can take it from the previous one request, for example, this one. And this function is responsible for retrieving a single product based on its ID from the database and sending response containing the product. And I think that I can finish at the moment like this and on this point. And thank you for your attention. Thank you, everybody. Maybe if there are some questions.
You took my job from me, Elena, as far as does anybody have any questions or comments that they'd like to share? Thank you for sharing Postman and sort of that back end of how all of that was working, because it's really cool to be able to see that, especially for front-end students to be able to kind of see what backend's working with. I know that was an eye-opener for me the first time I was working with a developer that was using that.
Thank you.
All right, if there are any questions or comments, then we will move on to our next presenter. Thanks again, Elena,
Thank
for
you,
presenting.
everybody. Thank you.
Elena Gornovoy, you're our next presenter. Anna Pestova, you'll be after Elena Gornovoy, and then Saul, you'll be after Anna. So whenever you are set, feel free to take it away.
Hi, everyone. I hope you see my screen.
We can see you, yeah.
I have a simple to-do app. Here is the input field where I can add new entry. Let's say ticket for mom, because I need to buy her a ticket. I can add, and when I hover over buttons, they light up. I'll show you all of them. It says invalidate. I don't know how to fix that yet, so it shows up right away. But when I refresh, it goes here. So I can also remove my entries, or no, here it removes. And also I can check the completed entries here. For example, submit final project. I already done that, and it scratches off the title and the date, the completed date, and it also updates in the Airtable. My idea, I wanted to sort the items by due date, and I made the entry here, but I couldn't figure out the way of due dates showing up here and being updated from the app, not from the Airtable. So this is something to work further on. And also, the last couple of days, I was working on this, sending the completed task to Airtable so that it updates here. So I managed to do that. I'm thankful to Anna Pestova with the help of finishing my project at this stage with this checkbox. I did struggle with this a lot. I think, okay, one more thing is my app is size responsive to various sizes, and I changed a little bit, but changed the icons and images depending on the size of the screen. They show up, some of them disappear. mini, and this is air. So I think that's all about my project.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing. Did anybody have any questions or comments? I was curious, when you check it off and it strikes it through, does it also like mark it completed in Airtable or anything, or it just
Yes, it does.
doesn't look like? Okay. Very cool.
Okay, so that it does this. The completed
Very
check
cool.
mark shows up here. Yeah, that's the part I struggled with.
I know
Trying
it
to
can be
figure
tricky
out-
to be like adding that extra step in and figuring out
Yeah,
how to be
it
able to
worked
make it
from,
work.
if I checked here, it showed up. If I checked here, it showed up here. But it was extra work to
Yeah.
make sure that if I check from the app, it shows up in the Airtable.
Yeah. All right. Good job, Elena. Did anybody else have any questions or comments that they wanted to share?
I just want to say great job on the responsive design. Responsive design is really important. You know, all clients want their websites responsive design because they want people to be able to, you know, be on their phone, on their website. So it looked really great.
I also made sure that the colors are aligned with accessibility requirements. So I made sure that they fit the requirements of accessibility.
Awesome.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Code the Dream, and my fellow students in my group who supported me through my tears throughout the project when I was very close to giving up.
Aw,
Thank you.
awesome. Thanks, Elena. All right. Our next presenter tonight is going to be Anna Pestova. After Anna is Saul, and Marina, you'll be after Saul.
Thank you. I hope. I hope you see my screen.
Yes, we can see.
Yeah. So, at first, I would like to thank all of our mentors. I've learned a lot, and they encourage us to going and continue to learn. It was difficult, especially first couple months. Then I tried to realize what's React is, because I started during the intro from the scratch. And yeah, it was very long path and I like it. I also would like to thank you, Mary-Alice, because you did a lot for us. You answered all our questions. And during this path, I realized how great my kids by playing themselves and how great my husband cooking, because he grabbed a lot of my household duties to give me opportunity to learn. So this is my application. It's about to do and to read. I have 2 rows. To do is all according to our tutorial. So you can add new to do. Sorry, I'm nervous. You can add new to do. You can edit it. And you see it's editing and you can delete. I have opportunity to sort, and by date of it's the adding date, not the due date, because yeah, I thought it's our tutorial asks us about to do it. So, but as I told, it was long path, and I'm trying to learn as much as possible. So I've also seen one video lesson about Google Books API, and I really like to read. So during this to-do list page, we did everything according to our tutorial. So I decided I want to do something myself. So this is the books from Google API. I can grab from Google API and put in Airtable. So in Airtable, you can see my to-do and stuff from Google Books. To read list, yes, it's to read list. Probably errors and taking something wrong. So you can add new book. For example, you can add this cartoon, and it start to grab information from Google Books API. You can add something in your to read list, and it's appear here. You can delete it and sort it also. And I have one more features. If you do not have books in Google API, you can add your own book. I know this book is absent there, so I will add it. Sorry for Russian. Well, and what else I have? I have the light and dark mode. It saves in local storage. So if I'm downloading the app, it saves. I have the wrong road. And you see, I thought that this app, it's not forget something. And as English is my second language, and we at school we learned that this forget, forgot, forgotten. So this app, it's about not forget, not forgotten, not forgotten. But when you're doing something wrong, you're going on the page that not found because you forget something. So I also have the mobile version, and it has the other. Yeah, it's go from different pages, different roads. Dark. What was my? I struggle working with API. It's still very difficult, especially when I need to put callback function inside it to figure out to do what I need from app. And I enjoying to do rendering stuff, all these conditional renders, how they switch to from one way to other way. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun also to do something new in other stuff like vector logo here. And also from our intro classes, the footer and header, probably it's from those classes. The idea to not forget about footer and header, and thanks for our intro class. I hope I tell everything. If you have questions, you're welcome. Very welcome.
Awesome. Thanks, Anna. I have to ask about that panda picture in the background. Was that something that a loved one made for you?
Oh, yes. It's my kids. This is the youngest one, and this is the oldest one. And the switching the background colors, the background pictures was according to the road. It was very tricky. I spent a lot of time to solve this.
I love it. I think that's cute. Well, thanks so much for sharing. I think it's a great job. Did anybody have any questions or comments, anything they wanted to share?
I have a question. You said you had a hard time with APIs, but you look like you did a really great job working with the Google Book API. Was it hard to integrate that into your Airtable?
Technically not, because you gave us a lot of information about how to work with API. But oh, I didn't share you one more stuff. If you will allow me, I will show what was the difficult. The difficult was this one. When I found new book, I'm trying to find new book, sorry. And I have the pagination, but this pagination, when I need to connect it with API, and it was very tricky how to connect all these loading pages and gave them opportunity to build each one after other. Yeah, it was difficult.
That's still something I struggle with personally. Like having it organize them properly is always like, please just work. Awesome. Thanks, Anna.
Okay,
all right. Our next presenter tonight is going to be Saul Castillo, and Marina, you'll be after Saul. Alexa, you'll be after Marina.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I would like to begin by first thanking Code2Dream staff for all the support through all the class. And also I would like to thank my classmates here for being here. So this final project is the culmination of the advanced class journey for React class. So let's begin by sharing the screen here. Wait for me for a second. All right. My project consists basically in 2 pages. The first one is the landing page, and the second one is the to-do list itself, right? So this is the landing page, which basically gives us the application title and a brief description of it, and a button to get started. We can see the footer here, and this button is when it's going to be used later when we add more to-dos, and then we can scroll up to the beginning, right? So it's responsive. So you see it changes based on the screen size. So let's get started. Here is the main application here. So if I wanted to add a to-do here, I would write here on the form here, for example, attend the final project presentation. And I click on add. It adds the to-do here. And this page is also responsive as well. So you see, it changes based on the size of the screen. So when we add a to-do, I have given the user the power to read, delete, update. So if we want to update this to-do, we click here. It opens a modal, and then we can add something else like, I don't know, I forgot to add the punctuation here. I updated to-do here, and it updates. We can also see the change here on the API, Airtable API. Also, when we create a to-do, I add the creation date automatically. So if we add more to-dos here, like attend mixer session, and I don't know, take a nap, then you see we add more to-dos here, and each one is added, right? So we also have 2 buttons here to sort the to-dos here. The first one is sorting by title, and the second one is sorting by creation date. So if I click by title, it sorts ascending in ascending way. Then it sorts here. If I click again, descending. I can also choose by sorting by creation date. Like this. And then if I delete something, it deletes, and also the Airtable database is updated as well with that change. So I believe, and I have covered everything here. And I would say that the biggest challenge for me was designing the application as my imagination wanted, right? So, and another challenge was maybe synchronizing the animations with the API requests. So yeah, that would be it. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Thank you.
Awesome. Great job, Saul.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments that want to be shared? Yeah, I do like how organized the user interface is as far as having title, created at, actions all labeled out, and to be able to have that feature to be able to sort them. It's really good.
Thank you.
All right, if there are any other questions or comments, Marina, you are up next. Alexei, you'll be after Marina, and then Tam, you're after Alexei.
Hey everyone. I will share my screen. Okay, everything work? I hope.
I think it's loading right now, but it also might just be my slow internet.
Okay.
There it goes. Now we can see you.
I hope you will understand also my English. And I'm another dear student. I would like to present a project on building an e-commerce API using Express and MongoDB. The API is deployed on Render. Documentation generated using DocsGen, making it easier for users to understand available endpoints and functionalities. I know Swagger will be better, more functionalities, but I just tried this time DocsGen. So to begin, we set up an Express server to handle HTTP requests and establish a secure connection to MongoDB using Mongoose. We utilize middleware like Express.json to efficiently handle JSON data. Also set up basic routers and middlewares to handle incoming requests. This API utilizes Mongoose defined models to user, product, reviews, and order. I didn't make yet reviews and order. It's not enough time, so I will show you. I will show you my front end. So let's log in, log out, and register. So we can register. Let's log in with my admin. Yeah. Okay, it's painting. For user authentication, we implement secure registration, login, and logout functionalities. User passwords are hashed using bcrypt for better security. We also generate and verify JSON. That's it. Sorry for my connection. I don't know what to do.
It's okay. Yeah, just give it a little bit of time. If you want to, you can also turn off your camera on Zoom. Sometimes that helps give you a little bit more bandwidth.
Oh, no, it's
We
working.
run into this issue often during final project presentations when people have certain
That's
kind of
working. I'm so
connections.
sorry for my connection. We also generate and verify JSON web token for authentication using the JSON web token package, implementing them as cooking for better security using the cooking parser package. So here we can see our token. Now we join to our products. All products data is fetching from the backend through fetch request, and we use Redux for our filtering. So here we can filter, maybe. Yeah. And also consistent cart management. So here we can look our product. So, and also here we can look for product also token, yeah. Sorry, it's my cat. Let's go to Postman, yeah. Let's log in like admin again. Show our current user. Okay, we can see our admin, and also we can update user or update user password. Let's update user password. So that's can be. Okay, this password updated. So as we log in with our user or our admin, let's create some product. I already made some body for new product. It's named test. Let's send. Now we have new product. We will copy our ID and we'll go to update our product. Let it will be test2 name. It's work. Here we can see. And let's delete now this product. So product removed. It's work. By analogy, we have same reviews and orders. For reviews, covers the usage of the aggregation pipeline. It's specifically the group operator to calculate average rating and numbers of reviews per product. So it's will be, we will make this here in MongoDB aggregation pipeline. So we'll also use some security measures like helmet, and I would also like to mention that instead of XS as clean, I used DOM Verify to protect against XSS attacks and clean up the HTML code. This is because the XSS clean package is not longer supported. So, and also we use CORS for implement of for handling cookies. So I think it's all what I can show you right now on my front end. Thank you for your attention.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Marina. Did anybody have any questions or comments that they wanted to share? There's some fun comments in the chat too. You'll have to check out. All right. Thanks so much for sharing, Marina.
Thank you so much.
Good job. All right. Our next presenter tonight is going to be Alexei. And then after Alexei is Tam. After Tam is Svetlana.
Hi. Hello, everyone. So let me share my screen. Just 1 second. Some technical difficulties.
Right. All right.
Can you see my screen?
Yep, we can see you.
Okay. So, okay, so where to start? So this is my web application. So the general idea was to build application that allows users to keep track of personal financial information, like creating accounts, keep track of transactions. And in the future, I'd like to, this is my personal interest, in the future, I'd like to keep working on this project and grow it further. Even though UI wasn't my primary goal, after completing Node.js course, I decided, after watching a couple of introductory videos, I decided to go with React for the front end. So right now, application deployed on render.com is 2 different projects, one for front end, one for back end. It was quite difficult to make them work together, but yeah, I think it's working now. So users can sign up or sign in. So let me sign in. Okay, so there are a couple of accounts that already created for the specific user, and when you click on accounts, you can see transactions that minimize it. Yeah, so transactions that link to this account. After switching, you also can see the total balance of these transactions. So currently, application supports all CRUD operations on transaction level, but backend also can add these accounts and categories which are set as specific lists. This is how you, for example, edit existing transaction. There is a type, there is a category, list of categories. There is amount, and if you update it, you can see it's successful and it's updated right away. And I think I updated this one, yeah, the 100 for coffee. So you can also create a new transaction. All these fields are mandatory except description. You can also save and see it's being updated. So it's saved on backend and being fetched again for the UI. You can also like sign out, sign in again. You can create a new account. For the authentication, I'm using JWT token and in combination with cookies. In the browser, backend has multiple models that connected with each other, like account model. Like account model, category model, transactional type model, and actual transaction model. All transactions should always be linked to account. At the same time, account also keeps reference to all the transactions created by a specific user. This is, I don't know, I think this is it. Thank you.
Well done, Alexei.
Sorry, say it again.
Oh, no, well done.
Well done. Thank you.
Congratulations. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Mm.
There is no questions. I will stop sharing.
Okay, awesome. Whenever you are set, Tam. Thanks.
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Tom. I'm sorry. I'm not in my best health today, so I wouldn't share my screen. My camera. Let me just share my screen. Okay. So I have a little blocks apps in here. I'm from Note class, by the way. And you can see there's a login page. So besides, you can log in with the, usually we're using JWT to get the token in authentication. I was able to use the Google Auth authentication. So you see in this right now, there's a lot of websites that would allow you to just log in with Google or Facebook or GitHub accounts. So I was able to get the Googles in here. So if I click in my signed in with Google's, I can just sign in one of my accounts. And then, yeah, so you can log into the web page. So if everybody's like any accounts using Google's would also see all of these, like just normal social websites. So you can add the title in here, hello, and contents. How are you? And choose 5. You can put some images in here. And just add it. And yeah, so you will have all of the blogs and contents in here. If you click into each one, can go to, this is my best part that I was trying to do was to trying to get the comments. So for example, can see if I say nice, I can add this. So this is going to be the first comments. I can also reply to these comments. So this is cool. So it's going to be nested comments. So I got an ideas from Reddit, and I was spending a lot of time on trying to get this work. So hi. So you can see I can even nest it in here. Amazing. And add. So you see after this, we have this, and after this, we have another one. And you can just keep nesting them. Right. So you have 2 more comments. And you can just, this is gonna be like I forgot the words for it. Like you can just keep nested forever. There's no limitations on this. So you can just keep replying and replying to the parent comments. Yeah, so, and then you can just lock down if you want to from your, so you're not locked into the Google anymore, and you can just log in again. So, yeah, I think I made a very simple blocked app. I just focused on the authentication from Google, which took me a lot of time. And also for the comments, which like is very tricky to get it works, both with the front end and back end. And yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom. Any questions or comments?
Is this Node React? I just saw the React and TypeScript in it. What kind of languages were used in this app?
I'm using Express.js and React and TypeScript. Yes.
Oh wow, impressive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Tim. Any other questions or comments out there? Okay, Svetlana is our next presenter. Carlos will be after Svetlana. And then if Masuma's on the call, then Masuma will be next. If they weren't able to join us, then Abebe will go.
Hello, everyone. And I would like to show my simple project list, a list of friends which I will invite to celebrate the project. It also could be shopping list or something different. I can delete someone or add if I forgot, for example, it's sorted alphabetically, A to Z and Z to A. And also I can delete someone, Kate, for example, or change something. Delete someone, and it also delete in this Airtable. It works good with all device. And that's it.
All right, thanks, Svetlana. Were you able to link it to Airtable to get it to update accordingly? Or is all of it just done on local state?
I can change, for example.
Cool.
And it's also supposed to be here.
There you are. Awesome. Did you have any particular areas that were hardest for you to get through, or areas that you really enjoyed doing with your project?
I really enjoyed to do CSS, and hardest, everything was hard for me.
I know it can be an uphill struggle sometimes, that's for sure. Well, job well done. You got everything working. That was great. If anybody has any other questions or comments, feel free to share them now. And our next presenter is going to be Carlos. Masuma, you'll be after if Masuma's on the call, but I don't think she is. And then Abebe, you'll be after Carlos.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Hello. Let me share my screen just a second. Yeah, all right. So my idea for this app is to visualize the data of runs, of exercises, okay? So I do have a watch from which I track my runs. So I can synchronize this watch with their application, so they have a mobile application. So I wanted to provide some extra visualization for my runs. So I created an application that integrates with my watch, pulls data from there, and then presents the data differently, right? I'm going to start by presenting it by the view of a user that is not synchronized yet and doesn't have an account. So if I sign in, basically everything is empty in here because the account is not synchronized. Let me just try to take this thing from Zoom out from here. Yeah, so then we can go to settings, and then we can request the start of a Polar integration, which is the brand of the watch, and it's currently the only brand supported. So if we click on Start Polar integration, we're going to be redirected to the Polar application OAuth portal, right? So from here, if the user had an account, they would authenticate themselves with Polar servers. They would send back a code that we would use to generate a token for our application. So as soon as we do all of those transactions, then we can now access the data from our users, okay? And since I don't have an account for this user, I'm just going to log in with my account. And yeah, this is about it. So the data visualization that I wanted to bring is a heat map, and it's based on GitHub contributions. So just like we have that little that thing for us to track our commits, this is for us to track our runs. Okay, so this was done using D3.js, which is a very cool library for data visualization. So I'm basically using D3 to get all the runs, and then if the person ran more, then it's going to be greener, right? It's going to be a brighter tone of green. So the days in black are the days that have no distance. The brighter days are the highest distance run. And accordingly, the darker shades of green are the last one, right? In here, we can see all the runs. Those were all collected from the Polar API. And then I can have the data that was collected with the watch. So I can see it, I can remove it, I can edit, I can make all the basic CRUD operations. I can also add new runs in case I just want to track the runs by myself instead of getting them from the API. And then if I go to settings, I have information about the current logged user, and then I can sync my account data. So if I click here, it's going to take some time, but at this moment, I'm getting a 204 because Polar is saying that they have no new content for me. So this is what is happening. If I did have any data that wasn't synchronized, then we would go through the entire flow that they show in their documentation. So we need to start a transaction that then gives a list of exercises. We then fetch one exercise by one at a time. And by the end, we send a PUT request to commit that transaction, which means that in the next time that we fetch the data again, we won't refetch the same data and save it again in the database and duplicate our user data, right? So this is the basic idea. It was done with React and TypeScript for the front end and using React Router, which is pretty cool. So all the data fetching is done with React Router. I don't need to write any use effects or nothing. Don't worry about canceling requests or caching data. This is all abstracted with React Router. And the backend, which is actually the node part, is just plain JavaScript. And I didn't manage to implement Swagger like some students here did. Great job for them because it's pretty hard and it requires us to write a big JSON file, and I actually gave up halfway. So I still don't have my full documentation written in Swagger. I do have the endpoints with Postman at least. I did wrote some unit tests for some of the functions that I had. So in some specific cases, it was good to unit test. So for example, I had to convert the data for the date format that I had to the date format that I want. So it was a good use case for unit testing. I did that with Jest. And I think that's about it.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Carlos. That's really cool. Yeah, I think somebody had made the comment about it once it inspires you to want to run more. So I think that's good. Hits the mark. Did anybody have any questions or comments that they wanted to share?
Let me stop sharing.
All right. So then our final live presenter tonight will be Abebe. So Abebe, whenever you're set, feel free to share screen, and then we'll have a couple of recordings after, and then we'll roll in. Well, we'll take a little break and then we'll roll into our mixer for the evening after that.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry, for some reason I couldn't turn on my camera. So my name is Abebe, I pronounce he, him. And I'm going to share my screen. Oh, I didn't open, sorry. So it looks like I did just bare minimum to the instruction. So I think I didn't do extra works like, which I like to do, like navbar, or also the edit button and different things. But I did a to-do list, which as you can see here, as our project. So I can, this is actually connect to the Heritable, and I can just add anything on this and also delete. So when I refresh my page, so it's come up, and when it is refreshing, it shows loading, but after loading is done, so it shows the to-do list items here. And also I have another page which we did with routes, so which is cannot move this thing. Oh, I can move it. So this local host 3000 is my default homepage, and also I have another one which is only a new to do list. I didn't have. I'm sorry, I didn't have to anything on that, but so that's also with routes. So which is my favorite lesson in this class. And also, if I show you my console, and I also did, even though it's not really responsive, I use a media query to just change the background and different screen size. Yeah, and yeah, I think that's it so far I did.
All right, good job, Abebe. Simplicity doesn't
Thank you.
matter as long as things are functional. That's the key. Function before fashion. All right. Anybody questions or comments for Abebe? Okay, that concludes our live presentations. Before I start sharing the recordings from some folks who weren't able to make it tonight but wanted to share their work, I'm just going to put in the chat, if you haven't turned in your final project yet, if you're just finishing the final bells and whistles, or if you thought, oh, well, I submitted it for my last one, for assignment 15 or 13 or whatever, be sure that you submit it under final project completion, just using your regular homework assignment submission form. I've gotten a question from a few students about that. And if you're wanting to participate in practicum, be sure that you complete the practicum registration form by Monday night. So I've got your usual assignment submission link there in the chat, and select final project completion for your course to turn in your final project. And if you want to participate in practicum, then complete that form by Monday night, so I know who all is going to be participating. I think that covers everything housekeeping wise. So let me go ahead and I'll screen share now and share the videos from Anna Solovic, who wasn't able to make it since they are in a very different time zone from us. And then Swati and Saeed also had submitted their presentations by recording. So let me go ahead and share screen. All right.
Hi everyone, I'm Anna Solovic, and this is my
you all getting
final
sound,
rec
or
project.
did I forget to share
First, I
sound?
want to thank Codedream.
I think I might have forgotten to share sound. Hold on, let me start that over. I wish they would just do it automatically, but I guess it's also good not to do it automatically. Okay. All right, now we should be able to hear.
Hi everyone, I'm Anna Solovic, and this is my final rec project. First, I want to thank Codedream for the opportunity to present this project to you today. Well, let's move on to my app. The app is designed to help people set goals and achieve them. The idea is that life is happening to us now, and we shouldn't waste time on the way to our dreams. On the homepage, you can see digital clock showing current time and inspiring quotes being fetched from Ninja API every 7 seconds. And in the upper left corner, there is an icon designed for changing the color theme, letting users choose from Fresh Summer that you can see right now and Northern Lights that actually I want to see one day. On the left, there is a navbar with links to other pages. Notice that the nav link of the chosen section changes color and the input field stays focused when we switch tables. Well, the main part of the app consists of study goals and daily goals, because that's actually what my life is about now. And now let's have a look at the study goals and the functionality of my to-do app. Imagine we want to add Ruby on the list. Let's take a look at the input. Actually, we can't add any extra spaces to it, and we can't submit an empty to-do, an empty string. Let's type Ruby. Now we can add it either by clicking a to-do button or by pressing an enter button. If we look at the Airtable now, we can see that we have 2 Ruby to-dos there, and we can delete one of them now and see that the changes are reflected in the Airtable. Also, we can change our to-do by writing, for example, Ruby on Rails or Rails, and we can see that the changes are also reflected in the Airtable. To see other functionalities of my app, let's move on to the daily goals. Here I want to show you the filtering. We can filter the list in the alphabetical order, and filtering is not case sensitive. We can filter from Z to A and from A to Z. Also, we can filter due to date from newest to oldest and from oldest to newest. And now we're approaching to my favorite feature and the most challenging one, checkboxes. They show the progress to keep people motivated, with the quotes changing when the progress changes. So let's have a look at the progress. So when we tick the checkboxes, the quotes change depending on the percentage of the completed goals. And actually the hardest part of the project for me was to reflect the changes in the Airtable. Now we can see that, now actually I want to show you that if we remove checks, or some of them, we can see that they are also removed from the Airtable. Well, what else? I would like to draw your attention that the app is uploaded to Vercel so that we can reach it not only locally. And last but not least, I would like to say that the app is fully responsive, both for mobile devices, mobile phones, and for example, tablets. And I would like to show you my hamburger navbar. It can be closed by clicking on a menu item or clicking outside the navbar. And also I would like to show that there aren't any errors in the console. Well, thank you for your attention. And actually I would like to seize the opportunity to show my gratitude to Code the Dream team and mentors in particular. Thank you for your support, for your constant encouragement, and what is more important, for the confidence that you are building in the students. Thank you for the opportunity to be the part of Code the Dream community, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
All right, let me bring over Swathi's presentation to be able to show next. So this is from Swati. Let me go ahead and play.
Hello everyone, good evening. This is Swati. So today I'm going to demo the to-do list app that is built using React. So here in the Airtable information, I have like around 12 tasks, 4 columns, title, created on, status, and due date. So we are going to see how each columns are used in the to-do list app. So the first thing is I have used the GitHub pages for the deployment. So since we're using GitHub, I thought it would be easy to deploy using GitHub pages. So this is my site which is deployed. So this is the site here, and it has 2 navigations. One is home and another one is show to do. So the home is nothing but it's going to give you a brief introduction of how the to-do list is going to work, what are the key features and etc. And the show to-do list is going to pull you all the information from the Airtable. All the 12 tasks will be pulled here, and you have some features like sort by title, sort by status. You have pagination, you can delete, you can edit, so those things. So here let's take an example of if user wants to enter a task, right? So title is mandatory. So if you don't enter a title or a task, it shows please fill out this field. And due date is not a mandatory because some tasks you don't need a due date. Like example, logging a time in the Jira. Every day it's everyday task, so you don't need a due date for that. So let's take an example here. Let's add log time. So you don't need a due date. So it's added here. So if you see in the Airtable information, you can see the log time is added with open status and there's no due date, it's undefined. So you see here the log time is added. So there are other things you can do like sorting and pagination. Say here I've added a pagination and I've configured a pagination like 10 tasks in a page. So this is just to see like, okay, if you have like 50 tasks, the UI will be so much overhead. So that's why the pagination will be helpful. So pagination is added in this to-do list. And the other one is, if you see here, you can sort by status. Okay, so the status is like either in progress, open, or done. So if you see here, done, so the vacation is done. So it's like sorted through done status, and then it's like in progress, and then it's all open. So you can sort by status. Another thing you can do also by title. So you can do by title or by ascending and descending. So then other feature is, if you see here, we added a color coding here, like a gray, red, and green color, right? So what does red color means? So we have a table column called due date, right? So if the due date is passed, so then it's showing an alert saying, hey, this meeting task is over the due date. So that's the alert, like kind of notification to the user. Apart from that, so the gray is called open. So there is a due date is still available. I mean, it's not within the due date is passed. So it's in gray color. So then the other thing is like a color coding for green is, hey, vacation is done, right? So if you see here in the table, the status is done. So it's kind of like, okay, this is done, it's green color. So the another thing, one more thing is like you can edit the task. So say example, I have a cooked meal. So I'm saying it's in progress. So I can save it. Okay, so it will be changed into the light green color. Okay, and here it shows cooked meal is in progress. And if I made it done, it's going to back to the dark green color. So it's done. So cooked meal is done. So if you see here, it says done. Okay, so you can sort by status, you can sort by title, or you can do this. And if you see here, there is icons here. It says this check marks is like it's done, so it will change. And this icon shows that it's in progress, but it's beyond the due date, right? The due date is passed, so you see this icon, and the exclamatory sign is like, okay, the status is open. Okay, so that's why you see this open status here. So I think that's all I have for the demo. And I would like to end up this with some couple of things like what is the biggest achievement I had throughout the class, or what is the biggest challenge I faced. The one thing I wanted to tell is the biggest achievement is I think I went going beyond the requirement and implemented some additional features like pagination and all those due date and coding stuff. And the biggest challenge is I'm used to kind of having a pattern like HTML in a separate file and JS in a separate file. So the React is like, since we have everything in one file with JSX, it was like very challenging for me. I think it has some learning curve. So I think it will take some time for me to grasp fully. So I think that's all I have. Thank you, everybody.
All right, and our last recorded presentation for the evening is going to be from Saeed Lasri. Let me go ahead and expand that. Sorry, my mouse thinks it needs to double click. There we go.
Hello guys, so this is my product manager store application that I created for the final project for Node class in CodeDream. So let's do a small test. We have like here login, register. Let's register first. Let's do test. Yeah, so as you can see, I've registered. So if I log out, just sign in. You can see that I'm signed in now. So let's try to create a product. For example, laptop, and let's do a price of 200. Company, let's do Apple, and let's do fast and let's do quantity of 3 laptops and create a product. And you can see that I have the product here, the Apple, durability, and like price, quantity, and the total price of the product, as it's like the price times the quantity equals the total price. I can edit like the price, for example. You can if you can look to the total price, it's updating rate time. So if I do like 400 for the laptop, it will become 1200. If I update the quantity from 3 to 2, it will be 800. And you can save this. Yeah, so, and yeah, you can remove the product and you can add as many products as you want. And this is a small presentation for the application. Thank you for watching.
My name is Alexis Mejia, and I just wanted to take a few seconds to just thank CodeDream, everybody, all the interns, as well as the volunteers and the program directors that have helped us get through this program. It's been, 10 months of work. So it's kind of incredible that we are here now. And yeah, just really wanted to send a shout out and a moment of gratitude to CodeDream for allowing us this skill set and to hone in it better. This is my project for the React class. I've been part of the Dove cohort, and yeah, I'm just gonna jump right in it. I wanted to show first how it renders from VS Code into the local host here on my browser, and here I'll show you that it is posted on GitHub. So it's part of a public repository. You can definitely follow me and see it there. If there's anything that you would like to give me any observations or criticisms, I will be more than happy to take them. You'll see here, I'm here on the boilerplate structure on the app.js. I chose not to do the to-do container component. I included everything in the app.js. I thought it was just a little cleaner in my mind, at least that's how I thought of it. And yeah, you will see here the different components that we were required to have. Some were under the component file, the to-do form, input with label, to-do list, and to-do list with item, as well as the respective styling. And app.js as well as the to-do list are just on the source file. Back with app.js, you will see here on the top how the React router DOM is being imported with the browser route and routes. If we go down into the return, we are seeing here the routes for home and landing pages under browse router. Following into the use effect, you will see it here on the function with the app that it includes the to-do list. It's a to-do list item, which allows the use state into an empty array. This brings us into the asynchronous fetching data that comes from the Airtable. Going down into line 57 of the code is the use effect that parses, or in this case stringifies, the data being fetched from the asynchronous waiting. And this, of course, is all being held by different components. So I'm going to move to app to-do form JS. In app to-do form, I wanted to highlight mainly the different props that we were required to bring through, specifically how it renders with the input with label, which we will get here soon. Under input with label, you'll see the function and its use effect, which allows with an empty dependency list and callback functions in the return, which is most important. It is a label element that renders from the children prop and all of the value and on-change attributes. The to-do list component you'll see includes a styling. I'll just quickly show it. This, I decided to put the media queries and the padding, so as to allow a little bit of cleanliness whenever you are changing the different devices. The most important part for me of the to-do list component is the map token, and how this returns into that to-do list item. Off of that, the to-do list item will return, most importantly, the on-click function that allows us to add an item to the list and respectively remove it. The app.js has also a styling. I decided to simplify my styling just because I've struggled a little bit with my understanding components and how components relate to each other. It's been a little bit of a challenge, but I managed to change the colors, and I think I'm really proud of that. It is something that I'll continue to work on and be able to give it a little more of a modern style. I think I just wanted to present something for now, but you'll see here that I was able to add its respective flex and direction, as well as change how each item in the list can have a different style, as well as the box itself and the boilerplate. And yeah, I think that completes the entirety of my project. Again, thank you so much for being here. And if you have any observations, criticisms,
All right, that concludes all of our presentations. Excellent work, everyone. We're really, really proud of you. Pat yourselves on the back and feel very, very proud of all of your accomplishments. Did anybody have any other final questions about next steps, housekeeping, things like that? Any other final comments anybody wanted to share?
Can I say something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Saul, our student team lead, and our group lead also, organizing us steady season and steady sessions. And thank you very much for your help, and also other teams like Alexis is not here today, but and also I want to thank you, Mary Alice, for coordinating the entire class, and thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks, Aveve. Thank you all for all of your hard work. You had to do the hardest job of all of us, doing all of the learning and the building. And it's, yeah, hats off to all of you. All right. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.